If you watch this video all the way to the end, you will understand why some people work harder and harder yet grow poorer, while others do nothing but sit back and watch you scroll through your phone, as their bank accounts grow larger by the hour. This is not a story about laziness or bad luck. This is a story about a machine designed to keep you exactly where you are, while you believe with complete certainty that you are free. We are living inside the most brutal paradox in modern history. Global GDP is contracting. Manufacturing giants are laying off tens of thousands of workers. Traditional retail stores are shutting down in waves. Yet during that same period, revenue from streaming platforms, online gaming and short-form video content continues to break historical records. From 2023
Is that really
to 2024,
how much time I spend looking at screens?
while the entire world is struggling with inflation and the ghost of recession, the average time a person spent staring at their phone screen had already crossed nearly 7 hours per day. In developing nations, where youth unemployment has reached alarming levels, we witness a deeply strange spectacle. Young people with no jobs, sitting inside cramped rented rooms, holding the latest generation of smartphones in their hands, immersed in virtual battles or 15-second dance clips. This is not relaxation after a hard day of work. This is a mass exodus, a collective escape from a reality that is collapsing beneath their feet. When the wallet is completely empty, the human brain does not choose to confront the truth. It chooses to shut down reality and boot up a simulated operating system instead. The blue light from the screen is not simply illuminating their faces. It is draining the last rays of hope for real change, replacing them with high-dose digital sedatives. We are witnessing the rise of an economy built entirely on the foundation of human stagnation. A system where your pain is the fuel that keeps the entertainment machine running without pause. Asterisk. To understand why this happens, we need to go deeper into the dopamine chokepoint, the biological mechanism that every modern entertainment platform is exploiting to its absolute limit. In a state of stagnation, the human brain falls into a desperate hunger for reward. When real life gives you no promotion, no money and no respect, the brain sends out a distress signal, and the entertainment economy appears like a sophisticated drug dealer who understands your fatal weakness better than anyone else ever could. It knows it does not need to give you real bread. It only needs to give you the feeling of eating bread. This is the core argument. Modern entertainment has completely transformed from a reward after labor into a substitute for real success. When you win a round in a game, your brain releases a quantity of chemicals equivalent to receiving an actual cash bonus. When you receive 1,000 likes on a short video, your ego is stroked in exactly the same way a manager praises your performance in front of the entire company.
I'm so glad we found this place.
Look at the phenomenon of psychology podcasts and slow living videos.
Me too.
A trend exploding
best
powerfully among young
community
people right
online.
now. This is the pinnacle of economic irony. Young people living in cramped urban apartments, crushed under the pressure of expensive living costs, are the primary consumers of content about going back to the countryside, raising fish and growing vegetables. These videos provide a perfect illusory space. The viewers do not necessarily want to actually go farming. They only want to be relieved of the pressure of their reality through someone else's lived experience, without having to pay any price for it. In China, the lying flat movement emerged alongside the explosion of passive entertainment content. When young people realized that grinding from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 6 days a week, still could not buy them a house or a car, they retreated into the virtual world. Live streaming platforms recorded explosive growth in viewing time among unemployed male users. They were not playing games. They were watching other people play. Because inside those communities, they found a simulated sense of belonging that real society had already refused to give them. Asterisk. Loneliness is no longer a story belonging only to the elderly or the weak. According to psychology reports from 2025, more than 60% of adults in major cities admitted to feeling isolated and emotionally disconnected, leading to an increase in screen time of more than 12% compared to the period before. In South Korea and Japan, where single-person households have reached record levels, accounting for 36 to 52% of all households in Seoul and Tokyo, passive entertainment has become the only daily lifeline. The mukbang trend, watching other people eat, is not about the food. It is about the feeling of eating together with someone. The data reveals something deeply unsettling. The generation aged 18 to 24, those labeled as the hyper-digitally connected generation, reports the highest rates of loneliness across all age groups. In the United States, a survey conducted at the end of 2025 found that nearly 70% of the population needed more emotional support than they were actually receiving. This collective stagnation has transformed entertainment into a strategically engineered shock absorber. Instead of taking to the streets in protest or seeking ways to change the system, the crowd is held captive inside a state of conscious sedation, just satisfied enough with illusions not to revolt, but too exhausted to actually stand up and change their lives. This is a naked truth that very few people dare to look directly in the face. Dopamine from entertainment is a form of black market credit. You are borrowing the happiness of your future self to spend in the present. And the interest rate on this type of credit is the paralysis of your will. The more entertainment you consume to escape your stagnation, the more you lose the capacity to endure hardship and resolve the root cause of that stagnation. This is a perfectly engineered chokehold loop. Stagnation leads to entertainment. Entertainment leads to passivity. Passivity leads to deeper stagnation. This machine was not designed to help you overcome pain. It was designed to transform your pain into a stable and infinitely extractable state of addiction. Asterisk. Do not be fooled into thinking that the explosion of healing platforms and live streaming arose naturally from market forces. This is a calculated offensive launched long in advance. Global technology corporations and capital flows have weaponized your loneliness and your fear into a business model generating enormous profit. Capital is the coldest entity on the planet. It has no borders, no ethics, and an extremely sharp instinct for wherever profit margins are highest. As the real economy, manufacturing, construction and agriculture entered a state of saturation alongside rising political risk, global capital discovered a vast new blue ocean. That blue ocean is the psychological choke point inside the human mind. Compare this ruthlessly. To build a steel mill, you need hundreds of millions of dollars in fixed capital, thousands of workers, compliance with environmental regulations and economic cycles spanning entire decades. Profit margins in this industry typically fluctuate between 5 and 10%. In contrast, look at artificial intelligence companion applications. They require only a lean team of engineers and a cluster of servers. Once the algorithm is trained, serving the first user or the 1 millionth user costs virtually nothing additional. Yet the value they extract is infinite. That value is your loneliness. Venture capital funds in Silicon Valley are no longer excited about applications that make you more productive. They are now pouring money into algorithms engineered to optimize addiction. Major platforms use supercomputers to analyze every micro-reaction of the retina to color and movement on screen. The singular goal is to ensure they are harvesting the maximum possible amount of your time. Why does capital flow into games built around luck mechanics and spinning reward wheels? Because they combine entertainment with gambling psychology. In an economy locked in stagnation, when the opportunity to build wealth through labor feels impossibly distant, people are easily drawn toward mechanisms of chance. Capital has transformed games into pocket casinos, where it drains the last remaining coins from people who are desperately waiting for a miracle. Asterisk. The rise of the attention economy is reshaping the entire global financial order in ways that most people have not yet had time to recognize. A person with 10 million social media followers currently carries a higher valuation than a stable electronics manufacturing plant. Because in the future, whoever controls the gateway into the human mind will be the one directing the entire flow of consumer spending across society. We are witnessing a brutal truth. The most elite resources of humanity, from brilliant mathematicians to psychiatry specialists and world-class software engineers, instead of being deployed to solve climate change or cure cancer, are being hired at million-dollar salaries to research how to keep you on screen for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes and 5 more minutes. The artificial intelligence companion industry, according to market reports from early 2026, is projected to reach $140 billion by 2030 and potentially touch $550 billion by 2035, with an annual growth rate of up to 31%. The virtual pet and social robot industry is expected to surpass $427 billion by 2032. Human beings are gradually replacing costly real-world relationships with paid services that demand no responsibility in return. The virtual character market grew from $34 billion in 2024 to over $51 billion in 2025, maintaining a growth rate approaching 50% per year. Asterisk. At the macro scale, the entertainment economy is playing the role of an enormously important pressure release valve for the stability of the global governance system. Try to imagine this. If millions of unemployed young people across the world had no short-form video platforms, no online gaming, no streaming services to immerse themselves in every single day, what would happen? Rage would accumulate. When people stare at an empty refrigerator and a completely sealed-off future, they begin asking questions about fairness, about social structure, and about who is truly holding the wheel. Yet the entertainment economy arrived as the perfect solution for the elite. Rather than solving the intractable problems of employment or income redistribution, the system simply needs to supply the masses with cheap sedatives. Modern entertainment is the bread and circus of the 4.0 era. In this world, class advancement is replaced by leveling up inside a game. The hunger for real power is replaced by virtual authority on social media. We are witnessing a generation of voluntary hostages. They are imprisoned within the invisible walls of the algorithm, yet feel entirely free because they get to choose which video plays next. This is a new world order, where the stability of society is maintained not through shared prosperity but through systematic distraction. While the crowd is busy arguing about the latest influencer drama or grinding through a virtual world, they have no remaining time or mental energy to recognize that they're real opportunities. Their hidden alliances and their exits from the matrix are being quietly stripped away. Asterisk. Yet inside the darkness of the entertainment economy, counter moves always exist. The sharpest minds have already recognized that attention is the most valuable currency of the 21st century. And whoever controls their own attention holds the key to the treasury. We are seeing the formation of a quiet alliance between those who choose an awakened way of living and the new tools of technology. While the masses use artificial intelligence to generate meaningless imagery and idle conversation, a small group uses it to multiply their productive capacity by tens of times over. They do not use social media to consume. They use it to build durable personal financial fortresses. The exit from this trap is not to sever all ties with technology. It is to reverse the flow of attentive capital. Instead of sacrificing time in exchange for cheap dopamine, we must learn to transform ourselves from raw material into the operators of the machine. One serious course of study carries more value than thousands of entertainment videos. Building a genuine community carries more value than 1 million hollow followers. And loneliness is not something that needs to be healed by the noise of social media. It is the necessary space for the reconstruction of strategic thinking. This is a battle of personal discipline waged against a world that is constantly trying to pull you down into the swamp of instant gratification. The ability to maintain focus is a heavy weapon in this war. Asterisk. We are approaching a future of extreme polarization. On one side, the vast majority of the population lives inside a comfortable matrix of the entertainment economy, where every psychological need is met by digital data, but in reality they are debtors of time and slaves of will. On the other side, a small group of awakened individuals who own and operate the machines that manufacture the illusions. This new order does not divide along national borders. It divides along the borders of consciousness. Those who cannot control their own thumb on a phone screen will forever be fuel for someone else's wealth. The stagnation economy will not disappear, because human nature always seeks the path of least resistance, and capital will continue flowing into false healing applications for as long as the real world remains full of instability and uncertainty. Ask yourself one final honest question. Where are you sitting on this chessboard right now? Are you the player or are you the piece being moved? Are you using entertainment to rebuild your energy for real battles? Or are you using it to bury your failures and your dreams? The entertainment economy is not a painkiller. It is the anesthetic that allows the surgery to strip away your future to proceed quietly, gently and without your resistance. This world has never owed you an easy life. And those glowing screens do not care about your pain. They only care whether you are still looking at them. Either you wake up, face the harshness of reality and find a way to conquer it, Or you continue sinking into the luminous blue sleep and become one line of error code inside their system. The choice has never been free. The price of awakening is the pain of reality, but the price of running away is your entire life. Asterisk. Thank you for listening. See you again in the next hidden corner of this world.